The Stars and the Hawks was more like a street brawl than a hockey game on any given night, but the passion between these two has faded, due in part to Chicago's decline. Around the last place team in the West, there is even talk of trading their captain, Chris Chelios. And with only Tony Amati lighting it up front, this club could be easy pickings. Tonight, the Dallas Stars and the Chicago Blackhawks. Next. Three out of four at home for the Dallas Stars tonight, and they welcome the Chicago Blackhawks. This is the fourth and final meeting for these two teams. Good evening and welcome to Dallas Stars Hockey. Along with Darryl Ray, I'm Ralph Strangis, and Rays of the Stars have lit it up again, a four-game winning streak.
And they've been dominant defensively, especially here in Big D. They've only allowed 6 goals in those 4 games. They've won each of them. And you look at the games here at home, you don't even need your fingers and your toes to count the shots on goal that they've allowed. We broke it down by periods. They've allowed 12 shots in the last 3 first periods, only 8 in the last 3 second periods. And then you move to the third period, they've allowed 21 shots on goal, but they've had leads and they've been protecting that. And obviously some teams are going to get some free cracks at them a little bit, but they've been as good as I think we've seen them all season here at home defensively.
And defensively as a team, to be sure, but we have to single out one guy. It's Rich Matvechuk. He's what defense is all about.
Well, and you look at his game on Wednesday night against the Panthers, and he leads all players in the game in block shots and in hits, and he does that routinely for this team. He almost sealed the victory himself in the final minute. The Stars were only up 2-1. With him, I think it's his commitment to his own zone, especially commitment to his teammates. He's been consistent, and that was a bit of a hiccup in his game perhaps earlier in his career, and that brings us to the point that he's still moving towards the prime of his career. The guy's going to get better, and he's already a dominant defenseman in this league. Also during this streak, the Dallas Stars made an adjustment, and boy, has this little tweak worked out well. Well, what they did is that they moved Grant Marshall on to Tony Herkes' line, and they moved Pat Verbeek up with Joe Nieuwendyk, who he played with last year, and Jamie Langenbrunner on the left wing side. And all they've done is give the Dallas Stars a second line that can put the fear of God into you offensively. And they've combined for 4 goals and 6 assists in the 4 games that they've been together. And this is a luxury. Not a lot of teams have 2 lines that can ram the puck down your throat like the Stars have right now. And the guy we were speaking of moving up onto that line, Pat Verbeek, is playing his 1,200th NHL career game here tonight, and in fine form. I don't think he's played better hockey than he has in the last little while this season. And if it's a Pat Verbeek type hockey game, he'll probably ring it in with what, a goal and 4 or 5 penalty minutes, something like that? Maybe even a scrap. You never know with Pat Verbeek. Well, the Chicago Blackhawks are a team that has everybody around Chicago shaking its head. What is going on with this team? Well, they've got a lot to deal with tonight. You've got the Dallas Stars, who are perhaps playing their best hockey of the season, and then you have some infighting, it appears, if you believe what you read in Chicago, going on within that hockey club. And you know, they have a couple of wins in the last little bit. They beat the Toronto Maple Leafs up the last game at Maple Leaf Gardens 6-2, but I think the Leafs were a little distracted in that one. And then they're coming off a shutout win over the Vancouver Canucks on Wednesday, but they only had 14 shots on goal in that one. So they're not playing very well. It's been a rough season for them, but they have picked up points against the Dallas Stars. And you look at them, I mean, you tip the league upside down and you find the 2 teams. One's at the top, the other one's at the bottom. It all started off with that 3-1 win by the Stars here at home. The next 2 games were both up in Chicago. The Hawks came back from a 3-1 deficit to beat Dallas 4-3. And then it took a late goal by Pat Verbeek to tie the game in Chicago. The last time these 2 teams met at 2, and they picked up a point in that one. So they played Dallas tough, and I don't care where they sit in the standings. Whenever it's Dallas and Chicago, it's usually a good one. Especially for one guy, as we move to the Dallas Morning News starting goaltenders. Well, Eddie Belfour, the former Chicago Blackhawk, goes again here tonight for the Stars. His last start was Monday against Edmonton, a 4-1 win. He only had to make 12 saves in that one. He's top 5 in NHL wins and goals against average, and he's been near perfect against his old team with a 4-1-1 record and 2 shutouts. At the other end, Jocelyn Thibault, fresh off his 29-save shutout of Vancouver Wednesday. His 4th shutout of the season. This is the first time he's seen Dallas as a Chicago Blackhawk. He's been very good against them, though, in his career, with a record of 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. Dallas Stars are in their 3rd jersey. In it, they have never lost, and they take on the Chicago Blackhawks next on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
Dallas Stars Hockey is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, with fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. By Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NHL. By Nations Bank, discover the rewards of Nations Bank Advantage Checking. By Southwestern Bell, your friendly neighborhood global communications company. By Wendy's, the official hamburger of the NHL. And by the Dr. Pepper Bottling Company of Texas. Dr. Pepper, the official soft drink of the Dallas Stars.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
And now, Queen Victoria and Cleopatra talk fashion.
I'm thinking of getting a tattoo. Perhaps a rose or a fleur-de-lis.
I don't know, doll.
And thanks to three-way calling, they consult.
Catherine the Great.
Kate, honey, what do you think? Vicky with a tattoo?
I say you proceed, woman.
I believe that's you go, girl.
Three-way calling. It's already on your phone. It's just 75 cents per use, and it's a great way for great minds to get together.
We're here because we love you.
Talk to us.
You're making a darn fool out of yourself in that diet can.
Settle down, Pop.
I'm sorry, I just don't know how else to get through to you.
Sweetheart, you taste more like regular Dr. Pepper.
Not that we'd love you any less.
You did this.
Wait.
Thumbs up.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Diet Dr. Pepper tastes more like regular. That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
Hey, let's talk New York. Let's talk pizza. Let's talk big. Like the new Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. It's so big it's got 3 zip codes. You need a road map to find your way across it. It's so big on the other side, it's almost Cleveland. It's a genuine street corner 16-inch New York style pizza with 8 big floppy foldable slices dripping with cheese and tomato sauce that's really, really good. At a price that's very un-New York, $9.99. $9.99. You can't even get a taxi for that price. The Big New Yorker pizza from Pizza Hut. The best pizzas under one roof.
Tune in for laughs on News Radio. 50,000 watts of pure comedy 5 times a week.
Weekdays at 5:30 on Channel 27. Don't miss Cops, weeknights at 6:30 on KDFI Channel 27.
Back in Dallas, the Razor's Edge is brought to you by the Room Store, where they put it all together and save you more.
Well, this is meat and potatoes and straightforward tonight. All edges for Dallas. Offense, defense, special teams, and goaltending. If you look at it statistically, there's no question the Stars should have the edge in almost virtually every category. You can't find an edge for the Hawks.
The officials for tonight's game, Dan Maruelli is the lone referee. Swede Knox and Randy Mitten will call the lines. That's 3 of the 4 from the other night, but just one man with the orange stripes. Joe Newendijk, the league's best faceoff man, wins another draw to begin the game. And the Stars in their alternate third jerseys began the attack. The visiting Hawks are wearing their traditional home whites. Pat Verbeek spun it in. Newendijk went after the puck. Brown is hammered along the near side. The Hawk defenseman Zuboff from the point, a drive. It hit Laflamme in front. Verbeek working it to the near corner to Newendijk, to Langenbrunner. Got a shot away. Daze is able to bank it to the line. Verbeek keeps it in there. Langenbrunner in the left corner. Laflamme pounding him there. LaRue has Newendijk pinned. Langenbrunner finds the loose puck, cuts to the circle, wrist shot, just wide of the net. Newendijk, right wing side, taking it around behind the goal. Looked for a wraparound, his pass was cut off. Sador tried a shot, blocked, second drive right on, Thibault the save. Out at the left point, Sador tried to ram it down the boards. It ricochets off Daze to the Dallas line. Early pressure by the Stars.
Oh, what a shift by that line of Newendijk, Verbeek, and Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner just threw Laflamme right out of the way, and then they carried on towards the net. They're winning one-on-one battles early.
White tried to attack. Lettinen broke it up. Moreau slams it from outside the Dallas line. Belfour kicked it to the left boards. White hammered by Matvichuk. He's picking up where he left off. He's got 11 hits in the last 2 games. Hall attacking. Hatcher up with the rush. After it in the right corner. He'll wrap Zamolik up. A centering pass. It's right to Chelios. Here come the Hawks. The Stars were trapped deep. It's 3-on-2. Kilger, a shot. Pad stop. Belfour.
Sharp save, that one. Hatcher got caught in deep. It was a 3-on-2, but who's back defensively as a forward? Jere Lettinen.
Not a bad guy to have back if you have to. From center ice, Chelios bounces it across the Dallas line. Hatcher will pick it up. We played 2 minutes of the first period, yet not a whistle. Dallas Stars, the best team in the NHL, record and point-wise, against the worst team in the West, the Chicago Blackhawks. However, the Stars and the Hawks have played some tight games this year. Missing from the lineup tonight, first let's talk about Dirk Graham's Hawks. Trent Yanni, a broken arm. He'll miss the rest of the year. Mike Maniluk, Mark Janssens, and Brian Muir, all scratches. For the Dallas Stars, Brian Skrudlin with a chest contusion still. He'll begin skating in a few days. Guy Carbonneau with the ankle has the night off. Gusev and Kesmer then are the lone scratches for Ken Hitchcock.
And in the lineup for the first time since the last time these two teams met, Jason Botterill. Probably wishes these two teams played in the same division still. That was December 13th.
Captain of the Michigan K-Wings called up. He's on a line with Herkus and Grant Marshall. Marshall going in to chase Jamie Allison out from behind his goal. He'll work it up the boards. Drifts past Ludwig deep. They wave the icing. Chambers will go and pick it up. Left it behind his net. Herkus there to take over. Amati with a steal. Looked in front for Emerson. Floats it out to Allison underneath his stick and out to center ice. Chicago Blackhawks have played 57 games. They have 16 wins. That's it. They're in the basement in the West and 12 points out of a playoff spot. Playoffs are just really a pipe dream for Chicago at this point in the year. Turnover in their zone. Severin was hooked. They don't call it. Reed and Keane are there on Emerson, who doesn't have a stick, but he pushed it to center ice.
He put his hand on the puck and then just spun it out and down the ice. They've let the early stuff go in this one. You could have a couple hooking calls already.
Bob Probert lost it at center. Keane with a steal. Left wing pass off the boards to Reed. Jammed off there first. Reed Simpson clearing it out. Rich Matvichuk to Darian Hatcher along the near boards at his own line. Bumped by Probert as he got rid of the puck. Reed, Severin, and Keane up front for Dallas. Severin floats it into the middle for Keane. He'll toss it. Dallas will roll over another change.
Dave Reed's played center before. He's playing in place of Guy Carbonneau, who's not in the lineup here tonight. He's always very pumped about his face-off statistics after the game. He's pretty good.
Icing the call here against Chicago. We are scoreless. We are early on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
Our values are our blueprint. Integrity, our foundation. Every decision we make, every action we take is anchored in our commitment to always be there for our customers. Integrity is the foundation and the ink with which every policy is written. It's why New York Life is the company you keep.
To the 1% of you who ask more from a truck, we suggest the all-new GMC Sierra. Totally redesigned with our most powerful Vortec V8s ever and a revolutionary towing system. After 97 years of designing trucks and nothing but, even we're impressed.
During the Fort Worth Stock Show, your new Sierra comes with this limited edition jacket from Cavender's Boot City and the new 99.5 The Wolf at your participating Texas GMC dealer.
Dallas Stars Hockey is brought to you in part by your Texas GMC dealers.
During Selected Stars broadcast this month, we're playing Watch, Listen, and Win. We'll give you 4 audio and video clues per game. All you have to do is identify the Stars player. Our first clue tonight. Tonight's Stars player was drafted by the Stars in the first round, 8th overall in 1990. Just 1 pick after a current teammate was drafted by a different club. Verbeek, a shot. He gunned it wide. Neuendijk trying to wrap around. Firing. His second try also missed the net. Zubov down to the right wing corner. He'll grapple with Laflamme. Shot around to the left wing board. Sador to Lagenbrunner. Brown gave him a bump. Sador again behind the net to Verbeek out front for Langenbrunner. He's tied up. Sador creeping in. A backhander just wide. Verbeek again back.